Check out Rogue energy drinks made just for gamers. Use the promo code TheSkateDemons at checkout for a 10% discount on all items.
What is up, YouTube? It's TheSkateDemons here, coming to you with this video explaining how to be a better player at the map Shipment 1944. Now, a lot of people accuse me of cheating on this map. I mean, a lot of randoms just simply don't know how to play it. People that use rec, you name it. So, I'm going to get down to a breakdown video of spawn knowledge and class setups and techniques and tips on how to be a better player at this map, even a training method to teach you to be a better player. Now, as you can see, I got a 2.61 ratio, KDR, with 1100 score per minute, 3 days, 19 hours played, and I am level 373. Go on over to the combat ratio, got a 3.30 win-loss. That is with having random teammates. I normally just play solo, if anything in a duo or a trio. I don't really play in parties, it's just not consistent. I spend a lot more time playing solo than I do in parties, so that is that. You go over to the game modes, TDM, 2.37 KDR, 5.0 win-loss, 1000 score per minute, domination, 2.82 KDR, 5.08 win-loss, 1100 score per minute, and then kill confirmed, 2.31 KDR, 3.50 win-loss, and 1100 score per minute. I've played other things, made my KD, or not my KD, but my win-loss go down. So we're going to go over to here, also to leaderboards, and then we're going to check this out. TDM, I am 95 in the world all time. That goes by score per minute. Kill confirmed, I'm 88 in the world all time. And then domination, I am like 184. Okay, 184 in the world all time. So this is all shipment stats. So we're gonna go through some class setups to break down. First, I recommend come over to custom games, set up for domination, and obviously the map Shipment. We are practicing Shipment. We are talking about Shipment. That's what we are doing. Give yourself a regular teammate, maybe two. Put give or take, like, you know, you can put like 17 of these guys on the other team. 14 with 3 regular. Put the recruit just to get the spawn knowledge down. You can up the difficulty of the bots, but the more the bots there are, it's gonna not really matter so much because there's gonna be so many people shooting at you that the difficulty ain't really that big of a deal. You put veteran bots, it's gonna be a 6v6 scenario where you put maybe 5 hardened bots on your team and 6 vet bots on the team, or just screw around with it however you want it. None of this matters, just keep it normal. Alright, so we're going to go into score streaks. We're going to break down score streaks on how to use proper score streaks to control the map. So my normal setup would be a UAV recon aircraft, artillery barrage, and paratroopers. This is my normal setup, and that's what I just recommend to start off with. But if you can't get a artillery barrage or paratroopers after that recon, you should be able to at least get a recon at this point. I recommend running a recon, fighter pilot, and then maybe a artillery barrage or a flak, depending on how the people on the other team are playing. Now, if there's a lot of requisition users on the other team, you can run a setup like this: fighter pilot, artillery, flaks, or the, like I said, UAV flaks, or UAV fighter pilot flak setup. Pretty much having the fact that you're going to get flaks pretty consistently. UAV and fighter pilot reroll very consistently with the one perk that I'm going to recommend you guys use. Actually basic training, but perk, same thing. So we're going to get into that. There's multiple different play styles and there's multiple different streak setups that you may want to use. My boy Temper from NSK, you can go with his setup. He runs fighter pilot, artillery, ball turret. He sits behind the Jeep, he runs ordnance. Depending on how he's playing, sometimes he might use different class setups as well. Hugger instincts, I've seen him even use at times, depending on how many stun satchels, whatnot is going on. Or my variant to his is fighter pilot, firebombing, ball turret, if I'm Jeep camping myself, trying to get map control. I've came back against the 6-man, the video's up on my channel right now. Destroyed them, they're trying to spawn trap us, and that's just it. But we're gonna go with my casual setup. UAV, artillery, paratroopers. This is pretty simple. So we're going to go into class setup. I have nothing made on custom, so this is perfect. You can follow along with me. You're going to want to go with the Commando Division regardless. It's just the best. Rank it up to level 4. Read what it does. For example, Paratrooper insert, that is not really important. You could use that if need be, but it's not really that important. Number 2, health regenerates quicker and kills trigger healing. This is why people think I got God mode a lot of time. I just simply know the spawns. The more kills you get, the more health you're going to have. You can refill your health and be life or death scenario save you. Even with grenades at times, I've survived grenades with no hunker just because I got kills in between getting hit by grenades. As long as I didn't get stuck. Multi-kills and headshots grant extra score and ammo. This is going to help with the 1 basic training we're going to be using and 2nd basic training, which makes it pretty damn good. Alright, so you're going to want to use escalation. We're playing Shipment. It's just, by all means, you want to use that. I run with the sticky for lethal. It don't matter about secondary. I would recommend getting good with the machine pistol, honestly. Extended mag, don't really matter. Just try not to have to use it as much as possible. Hunker, escalation with either PPSH, whatever you're comfortable with. I recommend getting comfortable with the PPSH, or if you can use any of these DLC guns, they're pretty good. The Blitzkrieg is really good. Irma is amazing. Austin's really good. I'm not really sure about this. Didn't really use it much. I've dropped like a couple V2s with it, and not really a fan of it. The M267 is really good as well. The Ryby rolls. The ZK, don't use this. Isn't really that great. It's kind of shitty. Even when you use the rapid fire mod that's built into it, it's not that great. So I'm going to stick with the Irma EMP here. If you have this, use this gun. Abuse this gun. It is amazing. My class setup for this is unique. Not quite unique. I see other people run it. Quick draw, extend mags, rapid fire. Quick draw for obvious reasons. You want to snap on your targets faster. Hunker is going to allow you to stay more alive against grenades. And another thing is you can reset grenades that are thrown at you that are not sticky grenades. You can pretty much pick up the grenades that aren't sticky and just throw them back at people. Not satchels or stickies, but the regular, what are they called? The MK2, which are these MK2 fragment grenades. A lot of people use these, so it comes in handy. But that's why I say to use this. Sticky bomb on my end, that's what I would use. And then escalation, another thing it does is shortly after kills, aim down sights significantly faster. That's going to help with the quick draw, and it's going to allow you to snap onto different targets faster. Shipment's a very close quarter small map, so you're going to want to aim fast as you can to snap to target. Multi-kills instantly refill magazine. This is why it looks like you got infinite ammo. Some of these people looking like they're cheating. Double kill, you got your whole clip refilled automatically. So there's one class. Depending on the nades, that's one class. Copy this. I'm going to paste it over to here. And then we're going to switch one little thing around, and this is going to be the streak setup right here. You can streak with either or. Ordnance is going to make it significantly faster. Cheaper score streaks and killed enemies drop streak packs that fill your meter. Ordnance will make a difference between a 375 point recon and a 500 point. 1100 over 1250 paratroopers. 700 over 850 artillery barrage. This makes it a lot easier. And also combined with that first thing, or what was it, the third thing of Commando being very helpful. Multi-kills and headshots, grant extra score and ammo. Helps for the streaking. So, those are two class setups that are amazing right there. So now we're going to go into the Jeep camping class setups. This is for people that aren't quite good at running around, jump shotting, drop shotting, and just being all-around good rushers. You don't have to be a bad player to do this. This is very necessary in the map regardless of how you do it. It doesn't mean they're a bad player. I don't care what anybody says. Jeep camping does not mean you're a bad player. It just means you simply know the map and understand the spawns. Shipment's all about control, and people need to understand that. Now, coming down to this, I would recommend using the Lewis. But there's other options. Extend mags, rapid fire, and depending on how you want to set this up, depending on if you can control recoil or not, quick draw or full metal jacket or grip, doesn't really matter. I'd use FMJ depending on things, but you know, you could use a grip on it, quick draw grip, depending on how you want to do things. Machine pistol, secondary, with extended, whatever. You could do one with the Hunker escalation, just like you did with the first class setups, the first two class setups. And then you're going to do one with the you're going to do this a little differently. You're going to want to have Hunker as an LMG camper regardless. Only difference is you don't really going to have Hunker as the SMG player. Also, you can make a class setup like this with the Hunker basic training, but you have to be sure you reload when you have to reload. You know, you just got to pay attention to your reload bar a little bit more, and that may come in handy against streaking against. I won't make that class right now as well. Don't matter. I'm just showing you guys different class setups here, and one with Hunker. You know, you want to have all different class setups like this. These come in handy against sweats, tryhards, people like me, people that are out there really going hard. So the LMG one's just basic explanation is simply everything's the same, just different purposes, and you got an LMG. Rapid fire extended mags, full metal jacket. It's just pretty much the same with every LMG you use. I wouldn't recommend the brand too much, but it is a 2-shot, 3-shot kill. If you're really good with this, you can get down with it, but it's not going to be that consistent as the Lewis. I think it reloads longer than Lewis as well. Most recommended LMGs, I'd say Lewis, VMG, and LAD machine gun. Those are the most consistent. The VMG is a real monster. It has pretty good stability too with the strafing and whatnot. Very, very good gun. I'd recommend that as well if you're not good with the Lewis or the LAD. VMG is a really good competitor. So then we got LMG class setups. Now we're gonna have a stubborn lobby where we have teammates. You can do whatever you want, drop streaks and this and that, but your team ain't playing the objective. What do? Well, I'll tell you this. Cavalry. Now this is, you gotta look at what this does. Carry a shield that offers protection against attacks. That's not really that important. While sprinting, shield charges ram enemies. Not really that important, but you can pretty much use it if you need be. Improved objective capabilities. That is important right there. You can cap flags faster, and that's about it. That's what it does. Objectives give extra score, and 2 assists equal a kill. This is a very good class trying to come back against people that are essentially not playing objective on your team. I'd run gas or smoke. Hell, I'd even run smoke. Smoke or gas with a sticky grenade. Ordnance, Irma EMP, anything you're comfortable with. You can also run a Hunker variant of that, different variants of that. It don't really matter. Depending on how they're streaking, you're just going to have to know this on your own. If you played them prior, you know what they're using. You're setting up a class before a game. Hell, you know you got people running low streaks. Match that. Run low streaks with them. UAV fighter pilot, flat guns, or mortar strike, or artillery. It's on you. If it's all what you're comfortable with. That's on you at the end of the day. I'm just gonna keep this the same. And then we got another 2 class setups I'll show you. Actually, you know what? No, that's not important. That one's not. You can mix around with all this. You're going to want to know how to use Saboteur and whatever gun you're comfortable with, really. You can use shotguns with this. You could run simple submachine gun with this. Same attachments, same setup with the guns that you use, unless you want different versions of it. It don't matter. Expert entry is important with the Saboteur, double lethal and tactical, and enhanced equipment use. That is important. Munitions replenished from killed enemies and over time. It's important. Improved tacticals and easier to destroy war buildables. That's good for war. Equipment and damage paints enemy on the mini map. At the start of the game, if you got a bunch of stubborn people camping around and you can't run through them and all that, and you don't want to deal with that, throw some stuns. Cross the map. If you're spawning in A crate, which is the crate directly across from A, meaning they're spawning on the A side and you're spawning on C side, simply just launch, at the start of the game, launch a stun grenade diagonally across the map towards where C Jeep would be. C Jeep is the Jeep that's directly across C flag. So I'll show you that, where things are when we jump into a custom game.
Oh, Mama's at home.
Mind you, you cannot use satchel charges or any explosives at like the beginning of matches unless it's a TDM. TDM is the only game mode that will allow you to throw explosives at the start of the game. I think it's like a 5-second delay. But satchel charges, when you hit them with this, these stun grenades, when this is a fully maxed out expeditionary, as in level 4, this will paint wherever the enemies are on the target. If you spawn on the A side at the start of the round, you're going to be spawning on C Jeep side, meaning you'll know that the other team is spawning at A crate. So you can launch them again across the map, stun them on spawn. Hell, you can run up to a flag and they could still be stunned if you're quick enough, and then capitalize and kill the people that are trying to run to A, because they're going to try and get map control. Then we got the last and final class setup that's major and could be important, could help. Saboteur Cavalry. This is simply the same, but it's for the simple fact is, again, if your team's not really playing OBJ enough and you're trying to get your trying to get the W, I'd still gas grenade on this cavalry. Again, I showed you this allows you to cap flags faster. Shotgun with this because you're going to be playing hardcore OBJ, trying to get that triple cap. You guys are trying to catch up. Throw these satchel charges with Saboteur, they make them harder hitting, and pretty much knock them off their flags when you're trying to defend the flags that you just capped. These are all the class setups that I got to show you, and we're going to get into a custom game. I'm going to show you different variants of this and how to play this map differently. I'm going to show you how the spawns work as well. I believe I had, what, 14 people that are on the other team that are recruit bots. That's not really a big deal for me. Recruit bots, obviously you can outgun them fairly simply, but the reason that I made them recruit and made 14 of them is because 14 of them is a lot of them to outgun, but it'll also show more clearly where they're spawning from. Pay attention to how I position myself, my aim. You can work on your aim this way as well, your map knowledge. Honestly, there's a lot of things you can work on in custom games. It helps very, very much. Your aim, your shot, your spawn knowledge, your map awareness. You can do this with any map. It's not just Shipment. You can do it on any map. Ordnance escalation is what I'm going to go off with off the start. As you can see, there should be like 14 players on the other team. What, I got like 3 on my team. They're at recruit difficulty on the other team. I got B. So what I do is I spawned C Jeep. This is C Jeep. This is A Jeep. Over here is A crate. If you're spawning on the C side, you're going to be spawning where my team just spawned. So they killed my teammates. They just spawned over there. So they're all pushing mid, obviously. You're gonna run over here. Check this out. This is why I run recon, so I can know where they're going to be spawning. So push some of them over into A crate. It'd be a lot easier if I get troops. Whoa, I died. There's so many of them. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't trained myself over here for a while. So I spawn A crate. We're going to be either do C Jeep at this point. Now they're going to be C Jeep. Now watch how I place my artillery. I could predict spawns with the UAV because the UAV is going to be showing me where they're spawning. So they're going to, when I'm over here, my team's over here, they're either going to be spawning on C Jeep or C flag. If I have no teammates over here at A crate, I gotta go over here to A crate. I don't give a crap about staying alive. So they're going to be trying to push this way. They're trying to push this way. They're trying to flip rotation. Even though they're recruit bots, they're not exactly stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna flip. I'm not really trying to. Alright, so I'm on their flag, right? They're spawning A and A crate at this point. This is a little bit more trickier depending on flags and who has what flag capped. You can try to go for a W, but they're spawning A crate and A flag. So I'm gonna drop this artillery off of here. I got 2 sides of the map blocked off. My whole team noticed that they're on this side of the map. Even the troops. Troops are trying to keep them in. Now this gets a little bit more crazier. This is more amplified of an effect because you're not going to have 14 players on the other team. They spawn on C flag because I pushed over to A. I got teammates pushing. Actually, no, I got troops over there pushing. But they were spawning A crate. I'm getting so many streaks because this is hard to keep up with. Now they're going to be spawning C crate or C Jeep as well as A crate because my team is on C. And my team is actually doing very good at capping, but this is classic or custom, so we got bots. Right? I can't even keep up with my streaks. I'm going to call it A crate because I'm going to be pushing. Now they could still be spawning over here. We're at CG. Normally they won't be spawning at CG, they'll be normally just spawning at the A crate at that point, but spawns are like kind of crazy with how many troops are on the map and how many of the enemies there are. Alright, so I'm going to throw this A crate because I spawned with them pretty much. Now you're not going to be getting streaks this fast. This is just, you know, showcase of how spawns work in this game, on this map. I shouldn't have died at all really, but I'm kind of rusty at it. Okay, so you see that the artillery, watch this, and I'll show you a trick. Artillery's on both sides, troops are out, they should be spawning this crate here. Not all of them, but some of them are going to be occasionally spawning over here. You can come and anticipate that. I don't know how somebody's on A. Weird. It happens. They should be spawning right here at times. Now you can do one better. Now we're going to end game here. I'm going to go crazy at this. It's just simple knowledge right there.
They are in full retreat.
That's teaching how to use that. Alright, so there's that. There's that. Showcasing that play style right there. 144 and 3. Looks like I'm cheating. I know the spawns. I know where people are spawning. We took map control. That's easy. Simple, simple, simple. Now that is the escalation ordinance. You want to kind of use this when there's people that are not really using too many nades. If you could dodge them, you got to learn how to dodge them. You got to try and avoid them as much as possible because you're not running hunker. So that takes a lot of practice. Honestly, you got to try and avoid stuns and grenades. And if there's a C4 thrower, you can use it, but it's not really viable against them. You could make a, I would use the hunker class setup against them. Or maybe even make a Hunker Instincts class setup for them. It all depends on what you get comfortable with. Sometimes you really can't do a damn thing. I've dropped games where I've dropped 150 kills, had 10 caps, over 10 caps. My team still wasn't helping on the objectives enough, and we still lost the game. You know, you can't always win. You know, there are times when teams will drag you down. It's honestly very possible, especially with quick scopers. They don't cap flags, defend flags. They don't really do anything helpful for your team in domination. So mind you of that. Alright, we're going to show another method how to play this map. And we're going to go with the satchel class setup. I'll show you how to run this. We spawn A again. I don't know why we spawn A again. But this is C Jeep, A Jeep, C flag obviously, B crate is B crate where B flag is common sense. And the A crate's directly across from A. That is this crate here. That's where they should be spawning. Now, I should have, at the spawn, I would have thrown, if I was, instead of talking, I would have thrown one here. I would have thrown these stuns across the map right there as soon as the game started, what I should have done. Watch your mini-map, watch your radar, it'll help you significantly. When you throw these stuns, watch where the red dots are. You're going to learn to watch the dots and watch what you're doing on the map. When you throw these stuns, try to throw these in the biggest group of enemies you see. A lot of them running hunter, it looks like. Not the best satchel thrower, but I can get the point across. That's the point. You know, you want to throw these satchels, C flag, try to run middle. That's probably can make you the best player, learning to run mid. Watch that. Oh, need more of these. They'll spawn in this corner here. And they'll spawn over here, behind here as well. A crate's the main spawn. Really good spot to be throwing satchels. There's just, I wonder if there's just so many bodies these satchels can't go through them all. This is crazy. This doesn't look very, this is hard to show you because there's a lot of them, dude. Died from the shotgun player. I'm gonna throw some troops on the map to try and even out the playing field. Throw that there. There's teams over here, a lot of them. There we go. Throwing satchels, baby. That's just about it. You know, that's just a simple explanation of how to throw satchels. Run the middle map. This is running mid. All different ways you can run mid. You don't need to run satchels, but sometimes you might need to. Coming out here, you're going to throw one there. You're going to want to throw one there. So you see this one here, throwing up and over. I'm not that great at throwing them. I know people that could throw them up and over this whole thing and hit over here. I'm not that accurate with them. Still learning satchels myself a little bit, but you'll get better. With practice comes perfection, and that's simply it. I'm not the best satchel thrower in the clan, in the group. I'm honestly not that great at throwing satchels myself, but you get the point. Throw satchels. Alright, we're going to end that. That is showing you how to use that to benefit from pretty much keeping people from camping too much. That helps people from camping. Like as you see, I spawned a crate. I threw a stun off there, off the spawn. I threw one over here towards C Jeep, and I threw one over towards C Flag just in case people were camping over there. Oh, I was getting more kills with those satchels than it was showing. So the feed was just wrong. Alright, so there's an explanation and knowledge of that. That's how you do that. That is how you use satchels and stuns. Honestly, if you want to learn more about satchels and stuns, go ahead and hit up ZKAMOZZZ on YouTube. Go watch him. Go watch him play. That's my boy Camo. He's probably the best satchel thrower in this entire game, hands down, at least right now. Speaking, now we're going to go and change streaks for another play style that I like to do occasionally. I don't do it often. And I'd like to also run this setup here. Artillery, firebombing, and paratroopers. This can get anybody their first nuke. We're going to show the art of the Jeep camping play style. And this is going to be very weird because the fact is, well, like I said, this is versus 14 people. I'm not the best Jeep camper, really. I don't do this shit anymore as much as I used to do. You want to know the best Jeep camper in this entire game? I don't care what anybody says in this community. It is Temper Tantrum of NSK. Anybody could say what they want. Everybody claims to be the best camper. Temper Tantrum is the all-time best Jeep camper, a Jeep camper in this entire game. That is non-debatable. I don't care what anybody says. He is the best. I've seen him come back from games he should not have come back against. And he's carried. He's just a monster at the game. So you can run this two ways. You can run escalation so you don't have to reload, or you can run ordnance so you can get your streaks faster. I'm going to run with the escalation because there's a lot of bots on the other team.
Take control.
Alright, so a lot of them are going to probably be trying to push A.
Advance and take position.
As the Jeep camper, you're going to need this A Jeep. A Jeep is, if you're playing solo, you want this Jeep. Cap it real quick. Watch here. Watch there. Watch middle. You're going to have to watch. This is going to get nasty quick because there's a lot of players on the other team. This is going to, okay, artillery there because don't want them sneaking up on me on C Jeep depending on what my team's doing. My team could very well be flipping the spawns on me, so I called an artillery on C Jeep so they can pretty much spawn where I want them to. My team's still spawning over here on A crate, don't know why. I only got 3 of them, so they're probably dying pretty consistently because there's 14. So I'm going to be putting this here again, and then I'm going to be putting this here. So my team could try to maybe cap B, but they should be spawning A crate. Watch how fast I can streak without ordnance at this point because I am just simply rerolling very, very quick. Troops are getting streaks. Some games you might have to use ordnance, some games you might not. This is probably the best way to get your KD up as well. You might duck behind the Jeep if you're injured. Simply hide behind here, straight your gun, watch this A crate, watch the middle, this A taking B. If they're taking B, they could be spawning right here, depending on how things are. Now we got people spawning over here, but we also have people spawning in B crate. I'm trying to get them to spawn in B crate, so I'm going to go and drop this firebomb awkwardly over there. I want them to spawn B crate, so I'm trying to get them to spawn here. Not spawning B crate for me, so I don't know what's going on here. I'm streaking so fast. Okay, there we go. Taking Baker? Watch. Taking Baker. You see I got a Lewis kill right there, right? See my troops have died, so they're spawning somewhere. So somebody's camping a B crate. Now, this is why I like having UAVs, because I can wall bang through the B crate, because I'll know exactly where they are in B crate, because sometimes they will be, when they're capping it, normally they'll be right here. If they spawn there, they'll be in this area, so shoot here.
Artillery ready for battle. Paratroopers en route.
Or you could shoot right here in the back here. Sometimes you try to hide in the back of the crate. Or, like I said, the front is where they'll spawn if they're capping, because they have to be at that point to pretty much be able to cap the flag. So that is the Jeep camper playstyle. I'm going to show you another version of camping on this map. Do C-Jeep. This is not recommended while solo. Back corner C-Jeeps where you're going to want to be if your team is in their spawn, literally in their spawn. Be careful. They could spawn behind you right here. So I would normally stay back corner C-Jeep if your teammates are basically flipping spawns. C-Jeep's not the best if you're solo, but it can work. Okay, I died where I wanted to get to. There's another variant of doing this. I'm gonna run my shoots again. Alright. So you could also run the map like this. Let's do this right here. I don't know why I got the carabin. I don't like that. They're going to be still spawning A crates, but they could also spawn here and C deep. Depending on how the map is being played at the point. Just watch your mini-map while you're doing things as well. Shoot through this crate. They can spawn here, right in this corner crease right here. Still spawning that C deep, but a lot of them are going to be spawning mostly that A crate. But they have map control right now, so they should be all in A. So I can do this. I can camp on here. Watch this from here. Pretty much watch there. When you got streaks pretty much blocking that whole side of the map, you don't even have to really worry about it. My team's on A. Oh my god. They spawned on me. Okay, that's just simple as that. There's one more spot I want to show you, and that is to try and counter people that are Jeep camping A. This is kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. And I got streaks, I'm going to call it C flag, because they have C flag right now. And we have A, I'm going to try and flip it. Alright, so we're trying to get these guys off C flag to spawn on A. Hide in this crease here. Hide back here. Hit the Jeep. I killed myself. I'm not really worried about that. So you can Jeep camp. You can pretty much Jeep camp back here. Now if you're over here, they could be spawning over here in this damn right here. Alright, now they're at A. This little dumpster here is a peak point. Jump shot over there. Use that whole back cover. Pretty much use cover when you're using an LMG. Move yourself around the cover. If you've done time in the military, you'll understand what I'm doing. Try and stay behind cover. It's called head glitching in this game. It's not glitching. It's not cheating. It's simply keeping as much of your body covered and pretty much just less spots in your body are able to be hit. I use this technique when I'm rushing as well. See, I will head glitch this. They will be running out here, most of them. Just fire them off there. Some will be running the C, depending on what your team's doing and if anybody killed anybody. So you could head glitch back here, jump shot. There's also another technique if you have map control. If you have real good map control, you can lay here, mount your gun. This could spawn in here. Now I'm gonna have to get full streaks to do this technique. So I'm gonna have to get them off A. I'm gonna have to get them off B. Paratroop. Now watch this. This isn't always going to work. You really got to be careful how they're spawning on this map to do this. This technique is not I shouldn't even really be showing that technique, but I really don't care. Nobody really plays the game as much as possible anymore. They really should be spawning here, but they're not. Watch where your things are, especially your artillery. I'm trying to get them to spawn in where the C would be to show you the technique I want to show you, but it's not working. They're still spawning A flag. My team is not in the right location there. I want them to be. I'm trying to get them off A. This would be a better. This is more of a party thing to do. Alright, so they're capturing C. My team's over here. Watch this. Oh, I got. What? I got quick scope on by the team? By 5? Insane, but okay. Trying to get this to spawn properly here. There we go, there we go, there we go. So I'm gonna hit markers through the wall. This is what we want to see right here. Hit markers through this wall right here.
Artillery ready for order. Firebound and run awaiting target. Ready to drop in second. Paratroopers en route. Mark the zone.
There you go. I got them locked in. This is nasty as hell. You know, sometimes they'll be spawned here, but this is what you do in a squad though. This is something you want to do in a squad. For a 6-man, look at this. They're spawning that corner freeze. Quite literally just spawn trapping at this point. And this is pretty much, this is very elite right here. This technique, ain't gonna lie. You can even there and be great. I'm not really trying to lose this, so I'm gonna change my play style. Try and kill me probably.
Artillery ready
Actually,
for
perfect time to use the cavalry setup. Explain what cavalry does, show what it does. Fast cap.
They're taking Able.
Ooh, that's shocking. Oh, I spawned my own, that's not good. I'm gonna lose the boss. This gets to be a pain in the ass to try and lose these streaks. I'm rerolling so fast. That team is using requisitions? Why is the team using requisitions or carpet bombing?
Artillery ready for
Oh, they're using. Oh my lord, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. It crit. Oh, yeah, I think I got it. Ah, she's holding this flag right here. This should be spawning A, really. Oh, they spawned A. Alright, we got a team over there. Oh, it's there. Okay, great, so they can't really get over here. And that's simple knowledge of how to play the map. All different play styles of it, and different places to call things in. Ooh, did we just lose? We might have lost right there. No, we didn't. I should have capped long enough. Thought we did. Capping faster because I'm using cavalry now. So many streaks on this, it's starting to lag. But that is the pretty much tutorial on how to play Shipment. Just practice, get better, put bots on and practice different techniques, and you'll get your skill up there on this map. taught you all different techniques, and there you go. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how much better you did. Come back to this video and comment, hey, if it helped you, if it did. If you want to run with me someday, add me, subscribe. Have a nice day.